Guys, is it true? I'm gonna have to sit down for this one. Is Diablo 4 saved? Is this the turnaround we've all been waiting for? Now, some of you may know that when Diablo 4 released, I did a number of live streams and tried to make a number of videos on it, and then eventually, like many other players, I got bored. The end game is just not there. It's such a grind to get to level 100. And once you reach World Tier 4, you're like, oh, I'm getting some new loot. I just gotta keep doing nightmare dungeons. So we were all hoping for some new content, and Season 1 dropped, and it wasn't really the new content we were hoping for. Season 1 was just like, here's some events, pretty cool stuff, but it doesn't really fix the overlining issues that Diablo 4 had. Now, luckily, the developers have heard, and apparently Season 2 is going to have so much content, and they released a part 1 of a 4-hour live stream, dividing into 2 parts, so 2 hours each, going over the new season and all the new changes. We're going to take a look at the Blizzard's, not Wizards, so Magic's on my mind, Blizzard's blog post, and to see all the new stuff happening in Diablo for Season 2, which I feel like a lot of Season 2 was basically, we're just going to bring Diablo 4 to a point where it should have been at launch. Better late than never. Maybe it may be too late, but let's take a look at Bite Down in Darkness Season of the Blood. So, patch goes live October 17th. I believe the second live stream happens on October 10th. Oh, yeah. It literally says it there, October 10th. Anyway, so the new quest is vampires. You're a vampire. You can kill enemies and gain blood, and that will give you some bonuses for your vampiric powers. You harness vampiric powers with the aid of new packed armor. You must unleash a newfound power on its originators. So you got to kill something probably just to gain this power. Siphon the blood of your foes using vampiric powers. So driving a stake into the heart of Dark Master's plans will require you to wield their same savagery as oh my god, I'm trying to move my mic arm backwards. There we go. Sorry, professional. But with it, you're going to need blood, potent blood. It's sort of, this does feel like the same as Season 1's one, where you gotta get some orbs and then you can equip them into orb slots, but this time it's just you get armor, and, I guess. Vampiric Power skills will up completing seasonal quest lines. Okay, so acquired from Fallen Advent series, so you kill an enemy and then it'll drop potent blood that can be spent in the fat. So you instead of being gems, it's you get your own separate tab for vampiric powers. Okay, that's cool. So instead of using a gem slot, you're just now it's like an extra glyph board, I guess, or something. It's just a new ability board. Unpack your vampire power through packed armor. These 3 packed types in total. Using the above image reference from left to right, they're called Ferocity, Divinity, Eternity. Keep your eyes peeled. So you basically get unique items that will also give you some unique powers, alright, for your vampiric stuff. Customize your packed armor if you need to, so you can respec it as you need it. Bleed new blood into your build. Now that you've learned the vampiric powers pack 2, let's take a look at 22. Alright, let's look at the new powers. Okay, so minor vampiric powers. Anticipation, your ultimate skill gains a 20% cooldown reduction. Your ultimate skills gains 12% increased damage for each nearby enemy affected by your damage over time effects. That's going to be great for my poison trap and my traps. I've already got like massive cooldown reductions for my trap stuffs. So yeah, that's going to be interesting from the rogue build. That's cool. Companions, Manions, Bat Familiars deal 52% increased damage to crowd control. So that's going to be great for the Summon Answer. As well as the druids as well. Bat familiar has up to defense. Okay, so it looks like there might be a new familiar. I don't remember if okay, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really play much druids, so I don't know if they can summon bats. But it looks like that might be a vampiric one that everybody gets. But yeah, I really tried with the necromancer to get a summonmancer build, and it was really annoying when basically the build to go with was like bone. Like, sacrifice all your minions and just go Bone Storm. I'm a necromancer, not a bone guy. Domination. Your deals do 20% increased damage to enemies who are stunned. Cool. I really like the. That looks cool. That's gonna be cool for Summermancer stuff. Feed the Coven. Lucky hit. Okay. Heretic. For every 5 basic skills you cast, one of your active cooldowns is reduced by 2 seconds. Alright. Your attacks deal 80% of your maximum life as a physical damage to one nearby enemy. This can only occur every 4 seconds. You heal 1% of your maximum life for each damage this way. Okay. Get a bit of life back. Only 1% of your life though, so it's not going to keep you alive for too long. Hitting enemies with direct damage infects them with pox. Inflicting pox 8 times on an enemy expunges their infection, dealing 70% poison damage. So you got to hit an enemy 8 times and then you can deal 70% poison damage. Doesn't seem overly powerful. Thorns have a 10% chance to deal 300% increase and shield enemies. Okay, prey on the weak, 60% vulnerable enemies. Rampant, after not moving for 3 seconds, you gain a barrier for 40% of your maximum life for 6 seconds. If you just stand there. That might be good for like close combat characters, I guess. Lucky hit, up to 20% chance to increase your attack speed. Okay, resilience, you gain 1% damage reduction. Sanguine Embrace, when you kill an enemy, fortify 6% of your base life, while you have more fortified than half of your max life, you gain 8. So if you fortify so much that you're over half, let's say 51% of your maximum life, you gain an 8% chance to 8% critical strike chance. Increase your critical strike chance by 8%. When you're struck, you have 40% chance to fear nearby enemies and slow them down by. So if you get hit, they will run away or be slowed. Casting skills heals you for 3% life. Double this bonus while below 50% life. That might be super helpful for fighting really tough bosses, the uber bosses, because you could just constantly just keep. If you've got really great skill reduction on your build and you can just spam skills over and over again, then you're just going to be like constantly healing, and especially when it's like 6% if you're below 50. So that might be good. Major. So there's the minor and there's the major. Major, a cursed touch, lucky hit, up to 40% chance to inflict vampiric curse on enemies. Enemies that from vampiric curse have a 15% chance to spread it to other surrounding enemies. A cursed souls deal 2,000 increased damage. So basically, enemy gets hit, then they might be able to spread it on, and you do like double damage to all these enemies. Bathe in blood. While channeling a skill, you form a pool of blood beneath you. While channeling a skill in the pool, your channel skills do 40% increased damage and you gain 30% damage reduction. So if you're just standing there, powering up this, doing this skill, you can, if you stay where you formed this puddle, you can do more damage. Okay. Boil, blood boil. When your core skills overpowers an enemy, you spawn 3 violet blood drops. Collecting violet blood drops causes it to explode, dealing it just collect these things blows up. Okay. Cool familiar. Casting a mastery, weapon mastery, macabre, wrath, or incombumbulate skill calls a bat ally to attack nearby enemies, dealing 80% physical damage with a 30% chance to stun. Is that the bat familiar we're talking about? Possibly. Flowing Veins, you deal 60% increased damage over time to enemies that are moving over affected vampiric curse. Metamorphosis, when you evade, you turn into a cloud of bats, becoming unstoppable for 4 seconds. This really reminds me of Castlevania Symphony of the Night, when you can turn into the mist. Enemies along your path take 160% physical damage and inflicted with a vampiric curse. It's sort of like Necromancer's Blood Mist, but instead of Blood Mist, it's bats, and you can still damage enemies. I think you could with Blood Mist as well. I think you could still damage enemies in your... Yeah, you could. So it's basically everybody gets Blood Mist. Yay. Moonrise, hitting an enemy with a basic skill grants you 4% attack speed for 10 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. Upon reaching the maximum stacks, you enter vampiric blood range, gaining 160% base skill damage and 15% movement. You hit faster. Okay, great. Reap Hunter's Acclaim from the Blood Harvest season. Become the highest chance of revealing boat and blood, and packed armor drops in the Blood Harvest. I think this is like the Helltide events, but for the vampiric stuff. So, yeah, you're more likely, well, You'll be able to get some of the packed armor and potent blood from here for your skills and stuff. Putting enemies' swords during bounties, bursting blood blisters, completing world events, disrupting vampiric rituals, freeing prisoners will earn you some reputation. With reputation, you can climb tiers, continuing useful worlds such as crafting materials, items, and packed consumables. Basically, play the game, do events around the vampiric stuff, get better vampiric stuff. Crush the Dark Master's army in new events. There'll be new world events, dungeon events where you can go toe-to-toe with more Bloodseekers and other vampire foot soldiers as well. Dark Master's army calls some of Sanctuary's dungeons home. Delve into the depths to see what secrets lie. Okay, conquer Brush Tie's endgame bosses. So they're now got some new endgame bosses. We got some new endgame bosses, boys! Reinforcements from the darkness depths of the burning hells take hold of Sanctuary, which has basically got new endgame bosses. Below is a list of the requirements to encounter them, so you've got to do stuff to be able to fight them, I guess. Gringor the Galvant Saint, well, tier 3 and 4. You must gather enough living steel from the Tortured Offering and Helltide. In addition to unique items that can only drop from Gilgor, you have a chance to receive Demon Binder Mount Armor cosmetics. So it looks like you can get some unique items from them, as well as unique mount armor as well, which is pretty cool, or cosmetics. So there's going to be a reason why you want to fight these guys to actually get the armor, weapons you want, and also the horsey skins. Echoes of Varnish, so you just got to defeat grotesque debaters drawing whispers of their chance to reveal parts of Vanish's body. Alright, so you need to get all Truthmas collections gained from turning in favors, guarantees parts of Vanish's body. So you can go to the tree, be like, hey, can I get some parts of this guy's body so I can actually go fight him? So yeah, it's basically all three of these. You got to collect stuff to be able to fight them. Okay, and then you can get some pretty cool gear and skins, and rewards with the Season Journey and Battle Pass. Okay, some vampiric looking skins there. I already wasted my free Battle Pass token on the first season, so I'm probably gonna not buy the Battle Pass. And I don't think that even if you did the first Battle Pass, you're gonna have enough to get this Battle Pass. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But you know, if that looks cool to you, go grab the Battle Pass, I guess. You get some new stuff, season items, and your stash items. Here we go. One of the biggest problems was the stash had very limited space. With the season coming to end, we want to ensure your hard-earned gear is transferred to the Eternal Realm. Once the season ends, all seasonal characters will be transferred to the Eternal Realm. All items the character's season of your stash will go into a new withdraw-only stash tab in the Eternal Realm. You will have all of season blood to withdraw your items you would like to keep from the season room. Any items left with the withdraw-only season tab ends will be unrecoverable. Okay, that's not really about that's basically how you get your season gear out of the tab. Wow. Claim Umber Wing Dark's cosmetic set. Once the Hell Gifts will return everything. If you purchase any digital edition of prior... Okay, so if you brought Diablo 4 digital before October 17th, you have until March 31st, 2024 to redeem your Umber Wing, so you can get some... You can get this cosmetic set for free if you pre-purchased it. It's sort of like, hey guys, thanks for playing our game. Please take this. Please take this. Please come back. Okay. Wow, that was some stuff. Let's also check out this blog post as well. I think this is more talking about the developer live stream rather than that was just talking about the new event coming out and all the stuff related to that, as well as the new world bosses. So this is all about the new patch coming out with obviously the season 2. 5 new endgame bosses, so that's good. We get some new endgame bosses. 5 endgame bosses have been added to Sanctuary to increase the variety of endgame experience offered, providing better opportunities to obtain specific unique and uber unique items. These new boss fights are unlocked based on succeeding in different tasks across Sanctuary, with different resources required for facing each boss, and each new fight becoming available as you progress through World Tier and World Tiers 3 and 4. Specific encounters, each boss can be found in the Season of Blood article. So you need to go do stuff before you can actually fight these uber bosses, whereas Lilith you could just go at any time once you reach World Tier 4, and I think Elias you could just, once you reach World Tier 3, you don't really have to do anything for them, so you could just go in blind, but this way you're going to be having to level up, you're going to be having to grinding beforehand before you can fight them, so you might stand a much better chance when fighting them. The Bureau boss fight has significantly increased chance to drop uber uniques, making the process of accessing these covered items more achievable, so that's good. Bosses will actually drop good stuff. Endgame activities. The time between Legion's events has reduced from 30 minutes to 25 minutes, so more time to... That was one of the big issues, is just like stuff before events appearing was just so long, so like you kind of get sick of doing some nightmare dungeons because you have to go free X amount of prisoners or go touch 2 orbs and do stuff, and you wanted to do other stuff, and it's now like, oh yeah, you don't worry, there's going to be extra content, but it's still like a 5 minute, it's 5 minutes less. Great. World boss fights is available more frequent to players on all world tiers, as the spawn times have been reduced from 6 hours to 3 hours and 30 minutes. Gee, I thought it was just 4 hours. 6 hours? It was 6. Yeah, thank you, because like some of those hours you're not gonna be able to fight every single time, so now at least there's gonna be more chance to like fight these world bosses. That's good. I still think 3 hours is a bit much, but my god, at least we're gonna be able to do like, you do a couple of like maybe 5 nightmare dungeons, and you can go off and like, oh, the world boss is up, let's go fight that. Then do 5 more and be like, oh, world boss is up, let's go do that. World boss warnings has increased from 30 minutes to 60 minutes. You get like 60 minutes to prepare and know it's coming up. Fixed an issue where world bosses would not display. Okay, so that's good. They're appearing more. Golden increased rewards have been increased from the following activities: Helltide chest, chasing. So you're going to get more gold and experience now. That's going to be good. To ensure enemies consistently give experience relative to current player, the Nightmare Sigil rules from Whisper caches 1 hour. I'll always be within 5 levels of the highest Nightmare dungeon players have completed. Okay, so if you complete a level 1 Nightmare dungeon, you could get up to level 6. Alright. To improve readability, Helltide chests now have specific icons on the map to indicate their type. Yes, before you would have to go up to the chest and see if it's gloves or something. Now you should just be able to see it on the map, so that's going to make it a lot easier to know which Helltide chest you want to go and focus on. Whisper cache is adhered to this item slot of the cache. Yeah, that was weird. So apparently, when you do like the Whisper thing and you go, what kind of cache do you want? Do you want a helmet or a sword? And you select sword. There wasn't really a chance for you to drop a sword. It was random. I don't know why it took 2 seasons for them to realize that shouldn't really be the case, but it's fixed. Well, hey. Okay, experience and monster leveling. So as we all know, leveling to a level 100 was definitely a grind. Decreased the amount of time spent to reach level 100, making the journey about 40% faster. Good. This is good. This is good. It was such a grind, and now it's 40% faster. My god, I feel like I might be able to get to a level 100 character this season. This is good. The experience gained from killing monsters at level 50 plus has been significantly increased. Great, as rises steadily as your level. So that's good, because basically once you hit level 50, you stop gaining abilities, and then you just go on to like what's it? The other board. Oh, the glyph thing. Paragon board. You go onto the Paragon board, so you don't really gain new skills, and you just get slight incremental buffs. So it definitely becomes a bit of a grind. As you level up, it becomes more and more of a grind. So the fact that it's now 40% faster probably means you're going to be able to get to level 100 a lot quicker. And for the casual player, for everyone, rather than just sitting there grinding for days on end, most people now might be able to get to level 100. Prevents monsters from being less powerful as a character level increase by making monster world tier 3 and 4 match the current player level at a minimum after levels 55 and 75 respectively. This increases the overall experience of leveling, making it smoother. Incenses now grant a bonus experience and perish after death. Increase the potency of experience bonuses, elixirs, Caesar's blessing by making them multiplicative with the world tier bonuses. So elixirs gain you more experience, Season's blessings, things give you more experience. You're getting more experience, so you should be able to level up much faster. Expedited the demon slaying process as nightmare sigils now teleport you directly into the nightmare dungeon. My god. So when it first launched, it would activate the dungeon, and then you would have to warp to a nearest town. There's a train going by, you would have to warp to the nearest town and then ride to that dungeon. Whereas in Season 1, it would teleport you outside the dungeon and then you would have to click to load in. Now it just goes, you're in the dungeon. That's just why this is so good. Why wasn't it like that before? That's going to make it so much easier because you can just teleport to dungeons. Just go like, right, we're done this dungeon. Right, we're into this dungeon now. Right, we're in this dungeon. We're not wasting time. Excellent. Avoided some players not getting nightmare sigils from dungeons that have no final boss. Nightmare sigils are now rewarded upon completing a nightmare dungeon instead of the final boss being defeated. So as soon as the dungeon is complete, you get it. Objectives have been removed from some dungeons. Only defeating the boss is needed to defeat the nightmare dungeons. Right, so you don't have to go around rescuing X amount of villagers or trying to find that last one that's in this corner possibly. You could just go straight to the boss if you want. You can kill all the mobs along the way and go straight to the boss and just constantly get your glyph rewards. So that's good. That's good. That's going to make some dungeons a lot faster. Objective, yeah, we already read that. Multiple nightmare dungeons afflictions have been updated. Backstabbers, close monsters attack from behind cause you to become vulnerable. Vulnerable damage is increased by X. Cool. Monster critical assists. Monster attacks reduces damage of a critical strike by 3 seconds by X by stacking up to value Y. Death pulse prevents death pulses monsters that have explosions on death. Prevent death pulses from spawning repeatedly on top of each other. Basically, monsters could, when they die, they would explode, and some of them could stack, and you just suddenly die. So they've kind of fixed that. Being shocked while in protection dome grants 30% bonus movement speed for 5 seconds. So that's the one where the dome appears and then it shoots lightning. If you're not in the dome, you die. But it looks like if you're in the dome, not only will you not die, but you're able to like move faster. Because the issue with that is you're having to wait. You're having to wait. You're running around and it's like, oh no, it's about to fire. I have to wait 5 seconds for the lightning animation to play and then for me to move again. So hopefully this sort of negates the waiting thing, but it's still annoying. Only starts when players are in combat. So you so it doesn't start straight away when you're in the dungeon. Only starts protection dome caster has the direct path target to it. Okay, so before there was some issues with like ladders, like if you're climbing a ladder and the dome goes off, you might not hit the dome and then you would die, or if something's blocking your way, like there's doors in the way and the dome's on the other side of the door or something, you know, it only works if you can easily access it, which is great. Duration reduced from 5 seconds. Drifting shades only last lot shorter. Respawn time is increased by 2 seconds. So they're not as round as much, but they spawn more. Massively reduced backtracking by placing all dungeon objectives on critical path of dungeon rather than in obscure corners like it was. You have to go over this corner over there. Oh, did you check over here slightly? No, I did not. Well, we gotta go all the way over there. That's great. Many dungeon layouts have been redesigned. Okay. Improved overall readability of traps by enhancing their overall visual effects. I didn't really see a problem with traps, but if some people did, that's good. End caps have been added to ensure dungeon layouts don't feel too linear. Okay. Paragon glyphs experience have been increased too, so they should match your level. Dungeon events made more worthwhile, enticing players to increase their monster density. NPCs should no longer be killed with one hit in world 3 and 4. Okay, that's great. Significantly freed up inventory space by making gems and crafting material Gem materials can now be taken to a jeweler for crafting. Okay, so they're not taking up your stash spot too much, but doesn't still fix all the other the main stash issue. Prevented players from losing their progress on a hardcore character from connectivity issues. Okay, that's good. Reduce the chance of being locked into certain stats on a leisuring item by reducing the overall enchanting cost. Reduce overburdening inventories and causing unnecessary trips into town. In World Tier 3, normal magic and non-sacred rare items will drop as crafting resources. Okay. In World Tier 4, normal magic and non-ancestral items will drop as crafting resources. Okay. Gold drop rates in Tier 3 and 4 have increased to compensate for this. Alright, good, because you're probably going to be crafting instead of actually getting weapons and stuff. Higher level monsters in World Tier 3 and 4 drop sacred ancestral items of greater item power potential. That's great. Normal Whisper Caches reward now provide a plus 10% item power. Upgraded Caches now provide plus 20% item power. That's good. Holiday Caches reward now provide rewards of 20% item power value. These are all good improvements. Reduce the time spent having to regain renown each season. All earned renown reward persists between season and characters. This does not include experience or gold. Okay, that's good. Earned skilled points, potion capacity, max orbs, and paragon points earned from renown will all persist between each characters. Good. Renown, experience, and gold must be rewarded on each character. For example, character 1 earns renown tier in a region, gains 1 skill point and 1 potion point. Character 2 earns renown 1 tier in a different region, gains 1 skill point. Character 3, this character ultimately receives both renown from characters 1 and 2. Alright, so if you do one character's end renown in one place and another character's somehow earn renown in another place, your third character is going to have both. And I'm assuming that the other character 1 is going to get character 2's stuff as well. So you don't, they're just basically making renowned, like, it's just do it for a one-time thing and you should be fine. This also applies to hardcore characters. If renown rewards were earned on a hardcore character in a season movement, these rewards will persist for a new hardcore character in the season regardless of whether your previous hardcore character died. For hardcore characters, Altars of Lilith and map discovery progress still carries over from within the hardcore realm. Similar to the season of Malignant, Altars of Lilith and map discovery progress from hardcore characters that died before the season will not persist over the season of blood. So if you're like me who was playing the casual mode and then moved to hardcore, you're still going to have to do all the renown and stuff. But if you do it in this season, it should carry over to the next season. So this still doesn't want me to play hardcore because I really want to have to do all the renown and Liliths and map discovery. God, I really don't need to do that again. Convert items can now be marketed as favorite and sold as salvage. 2 additional character slots have been added. Cool. Ease the ability for players that haven't completed the campaign to access seasonal content earlier by adding the option to skip the campaign on characters. So if you haven't beaten the game yet, don't worry, you can start doing the season content now. With a seasonal character, you can just say skip the content, so that's good. Prevented wasted minion companion attacks by ensuring minions and companions no longer target invulnerable enemies. Okay, that's good. Improved horse riding experience, improving all the responsiveness of mounts, reduce the time it takes to travel across Sanctuary by increasing spur duration, so your horse runs faster for longer, well, runs longer. Basing speed increased by 15%, so he does run faster. Remove the need for players to place their cursor on the edge of the window for max speed. Okay, yeah, so before you would have to move, you can see my mouse, it's over here, hello. You would have to do it like that to make the horse run faster, because if it was like that it would run a bit slower, so you have to go all the way over that. And if you have a shorter monitor, well, a smaller monitor, that might affect it. Actually, if you have a smaller monitor you could just easily do that. So if you have a wider monitor it might be harder. Improve the combat and mount versatility by reducing abilities cooldown by 50%. Manual dismount cooldown has been reduced from 10 seconds to 5. Force dismount from damage cooldown has been from 10 seconds to 4. Delay between dismount combat skill becoming available after mounting. Example, the Barbarian's Bounding Slam has been reduced by 10 seconds to 3 seconds. So you're able to get off the mount whether you chose to or not and start using your skills a bit quicker. Additional stashes have been added to all capital cities near the important vendors. Reduces the need to travel to capital cities by adding stashes to all small towns and waypoints, so you can access your stash almost anywhere. Reduce the need to travel to capital cities by adding occult to the Tree of Whispers waypoint. Reduce the need of additional walking. Purveyors of curiosity have set up shop closer to waypoints in several capital cities. Yep, that's good, because you would have to go all the way. You would have to go back to town. You got all these points, and then you have to go find this person in like the edge of the town or something. So it's good that they're closer now. Improve navigation, sanctuary following character creation by adding 10 waypoints. Okay. There are 2 waypoints in each region. Note the players that choose to skip the campaign and haven't unlocked these 10 waypoints on a card that will automatically be available. Okay, that's good. Improve sorting overall organization by adding stash search and stash filter function. Okay, so you can search for the items you want or the things you want, so you can easily get to it quicker. Improve streaming functionality by adding streamer mode, which high sensitive information such as characters' names or battle.net usernames. I didn't realize that was an issue. Okay, thanks. Improved organization by displaying item effects, tooltips. Okay, improved group extending aspects, same legendary powers. Okay, improved navigation, improved adjustment. Add the option for hide all combat text. Okay, improved unique item visibility, improved access to screen reader. All right. So it looks like they're basically making it easier for you to get to level 100, adding more variation in the end game by adding 5 new bosses, also making world bosses appear more often. Excellent. So there's more stuff to do, so you don't have to keep doing nightmare dungeons. And also nightmare dungeons, you will teleport straight into the dungeon. That's a good thing. As well as not having to do some of the objectives in some of the dungeons. And if you do have to do objectives, it's along the critical path to the boss, so you don't have to go out of your way to find this one orb that's out of the way, and you don't know why it's all the way over there when the boss is over there, and you started from here and you go like, oh, I'm all the way over there now, I've got to go all the way over there, and then I can have to go all the way back. It's good. These are good improvements. Some of the Season of 2 skills looks pretty good as well. Some interesting stuff. I'm gonna probably check it out, and hopefully this is going on the right path. Obviously, easier to say, a lot of this should have been at the start of the game. Absolutely. I like the fact that some of the end game bosses, you're gonna have to do stuff to go fight them. So that's gonna be like, well, okay, we're gonna have to go get these items and materials, and then we can fight the super boss. That seems pretty cool, as well as dropping some unique items associated with that boss, so you know, oh, I want that piece of gear, I need to go get ready to fight that boss. That's good. I like that. Again, should have been at the beginning of the game, but I'm glad it's here. It doesn't look like they fixed the stash issue where you have a limited amount of stash space, because you're essentially loading everybody's stash space in that city. So they're going to have to work out how we don't need to do that, and essentially the stash only loads for the player, and once the item leaves the stash and enters your inventory, that's when that item needs to spawn in, rather than just have all the items spawning at once. It seems like it should just be the stash is separate and only loads for the player, and once the item leaves the stash, that's when it needs to be loaded in. But hey, I'm not a game developer. I made a game like 20 years ago for a uni project. Was it 20 years ago? No, less than 20 years ago, so I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but I'm glad these improvements are here. I'm looking forward to the new bosses, for just the general new bosses, not even the blood one. It's like we're getting new bosses for just like the general world, so that's going to be cool. Improved experience weight and gold stuff, so that's good. Dungeon times is great. Just load into a nightmare dungeon. That's fantastic. No more traveling around. I like the fact that items and stuff you're going to need more often are closer to the waypoint, so you don't have to go traveling around. It's like you hit a city, then you got to load up your mount and then run to the place, get off your mount, and then talk to the guy, because that's probably faster than just walking. Overall, good stuff. Want to see more of the Season of 2. Maybe more information about the unique blood powers to each class, rather than just general stuff. But yeah, it's going along the right track. Hopefully, hopefully they can turn it around and make the game that we're all hoping for. This is good stuff so far. This has made me kind of want to check out Season 2 on October 17th just to see the new endgame bosses and stuff, and hopefully start powering up my Necromancer again so I can finally get that guy to a level 100, because, you know, he's been stuck at level 75 now for God knows how long. So maybe I'll finally finish my Necromancer, get him to level 100. Overall, let me know what you think of this in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Goodbye.
Morse. Marvelous. Together on the track. Let's go. Red sus, red sus. Red sus, red sus. Red sus, red sus. Red so sus. Red sus, red sus. Red sus, red sus. Red sus, red sus. Red so sus.